Hello, I hope that you are well. My name is Kim and I am the travelling surrogate. If you've not seen me before, I have just carried a baby, I've just made a family using traditional surrogacy here in the UK. I'm 1 week postnatal, the baby was born this time last Tuesday, but 12 hours, so in the middle of the night, 12 hours ago. And I feel like I'm recovering pretty quickly after a caesarean. It's not as bad as I expected. So the same as the bump dates, I'm gonna get my belly out, which does seem a bit weird now there's no baby in there. I've obviously still got a little pooch. The baby was £9. I'm not surprised. What's that in kilos? Oh, I can't remember. I'll have to pop it up on the screen. I've been starting to do some diastasis recti mending exercises, and I'm not recommending this or anything. Like, each woman's caesarean journey recovery is completely different. I'm not a medical professional at all, but I've just been relaxing. I'm doing the breathing the wrong way around. But yeah, just so I'm sort of holding it together and hopefully bringing my abdominal muscles back slightly. So I did lower my underwear enough, I think, so that you can see the C-section scar. It's very, very neat. It's been done actually just below my bikini line, along sort of my hip line. And if you do want more close-ups and regular updates, have a look on my Instagram. I'm going to be putting pictures up as it heals, and it's the same handle as this, the travelling surrogate. I have got some nice tiger stripes here, but I do feel like they're going down already. Like, only a week later, I'm quite impressed. And the skin is very squishy and stretchy, but again, you know, my belly was literally, I don't know, yeah, like out to here, I think. It was huge towards the end, so I'm really impressed. The Linea negra is still quite dark, but I like it because it's dead straight, it's completely symmetrical. So there's something quite satisfying about that. My belly button is coming back to normal, which is really nice because it had started to shrink. It had got really, really small where like everything was so taut. So that's getting back to normal. The redness of my belly button piercing has gone down a lot as well. And yeah, so the scar itself is doing really well. It is slightly over to the left, which I think is something to do with the baby's position, but I'm feeling pretty impressed with that. And just coming back up to the boobs, I was going to work top to bottom so I didn't forget anything, but I'm just so excited about like my new belly. So my boobs, I am expressing breast milk. I'm pumping 6 times a day and once in the middle of the night, which I wake up naturally for. It's amazing. And by no means is this a requested thing. The parents didn't, I wasn't obliged to do it at all, but I feel like this whole surrogacy journey, I've kind of treated my body as if I'd been given a Porsche and I was like, well, I'm not going to drive that Porsche because, well, silly reasons. And that's kind of what I feel about like my uterus and my milk producing and everything. It's like, I've got the ability to use this, I'm gonna. Yeah, so I have been expressing milk. My left boob is my dominant boob, and the milk flows faster and the volume is more. So I've actually just expressed from my right boob only to try and even things up. So at the moment they are wonky, in an attempt to get them unwonky at some point, because apparently it can be quite severe if you end up just focusing on the dominant boob. So I'm trying to get my lazy boob to catch up. I had a bit of baby blues, which I've also put on Instagram, and I've put it on my highlights, lowlights, and a lot of that was around expressing the milk. The hormone dump coincides with your milk coming in whether you're expressing it or not. So that was a very interesting experience, but anyway, I've gone off on a tangent. What else was I going to talk about on my body? Right, back pain. I pulled a muscle while I was in labour. it was excruciating, which I know is ridiculous because I was having contractions and they're also very painful, but I thought I needed a poo. And as I was straining, I also had a contraction, and somehow, yeah, I pulled a muscle up here and it really, really hurt. The midwife was like proper trying to work it. The baby's mum was proper trying to work it. My mum was trying to work it. And eventually the contraction pain kind of took over again and I forgot about it. And then I had the epidural, so I had no pain anyway. And then after the C-section, when my tummy felt like tenderised meat and the scar and everything, that distracted me from the pain as well. Now that's all feeling great, my back is killing me. So if I'm sort of like this throughout this video, you know why. It's because I'm like still trying to stretch it out. It's not great. I do wonder as well if it's a mixture of, because my boobs are so much heavier than they ever used to be. Like I pretty much had fried eggs before pregnancy. It's only been since my milk's come in that after a shower I actually have to dry underneath them. So that's something new. And yeah, so I'm wondering if it is back pain from expressing as well and just having bad posture, so I'm trying my best. I'm on blood thinning injections, which is quite normal. I think I need to, oh yes, I need to put my belly away. So I'm wearing these gorgeous high-waisted knickers. Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to talk about. My waist has come back already, which I'm so impressed at. I lost my waist right at the beginning of pregnancy. It is one of the very early pregnancy things. It's nothing to do with the size of the baby. It's all hormonal. And I went very boxy. I had a very like boyish figure at the early days of pregnancy. And then even with like a big round belly, I was still really straight up and down, but my waist is already starting to come back. So I'm like, ooh, that's exciting. Yes. Now, where was I? Blood thinning injections. Thinning. Unfortunately, have caused quite a lot of bruises. That one's pretty impressive. And that's like 6 days old. That one of the midwives did that one, and she literally shoved the needle in, squeezed the stuff and pulled it out in like 1 second. So I've been doing them much more gently than that, and I just get like a little pinprick bruise, which isn't as bad. And while we're on this area, get my bum out a little bit, I've got the strangest sort of U-shaped rash here, which I think must be from one of the plasters, and it's got really, really sore. So if I ever have surgery or anything like that again, I need to tell them I'm allergic to plasters. How pathetic. But I think that's just about everything in terms of physically. Postnatal bleeding as well, it's not as bad as I expected. I think it's different because I've had a C-section and not a vaginal birth. But it's really not that heavy. It's probably because of the blood thinning I can't say that, blood thinning injections. It's a different kind of blood to period blood completely. It's much stringier. And yeah, as I say, like the volume wise isn't that bad. Expressing the milk is causing some contractions, nowhere near as painful as labour contractions, but they do sort of make you go, oh, that's a tingly sensation I recognise, that's not very pleasant. But it only lasts 30 seconds, a minute, you breathe through it, it's done. But that's one of the benefits to expressing milk for myself. It means everything will go back to where it was quicker. I'm still wearing maternity clothes because there's no way I'm going to fit back in my pre-pregnancy clothes yet. But yeah, so that's sort of all of the postnatal update, aside from the emotions. Emotionally, day 4 for me was really, really bad. Day 3, so that was Friday, baby was born on Tuesday. Friday, I could feel I was coming down, because Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, honestly, I was on top of the world. Giving birth is better than any drug. I felt fantastic. Could be because I was on the artificial oxytocin for so many hours as well, but honestly, I was like, oh, it was brilliant. And I did feel myself starting to come down a little bit on Friday, but then Saturday, I was a bit irritable, but I was okay. I didn't really think much of it. And then in the evening, bam, it was literally like a ton of bricks. My mum called me, and all I said was, I don't feel very good all of a sudden. And I burst into tears. I said, I feel like a cow. The smell of the breast milk smelt, it was the colostrum, so like really thick yellow, almost orange milk coming out. The smell of it was like baby sick, and the smell of my dinner smelled like school dinners, and it was just really little things that added up, made me feel really, really crappy. And for a woman with a newborn baby, if she just had a sleepless night as well, I can definitely see how that then triggers ongoing depression. I'm, you know, not in that position. I don't have a baby to look after. I don't miss the baby. I was babysitting him for 9 months. He's where he should be now. He's with his parents. And it really genuinely wasn't anything to do with that. It was a massive hormone dump. It was like PMS on acid, and it passed relatively quickly. I cried it out. I watched some TV, took my mind off of it. By the next day I was still a little bit there. And then, yeah, today, I'm literally back to normal. I've got such a big smile on my face because this came a little while ago. So these are shipped out by COTS, Childlessness Overcome Through Surrogacy, the agency that I went through. And my mum's got, I think, 4 vases and 2 crystals. She did surrogacy 6 times for 4 families when I was a child, first time when I was 5 years old, so surrogacy has always been part of my life. And I used to look at her little, what do you call them, like commemorative pieces, in awe, and like, I'm gonna get one of those one day. So the fact that it's come through today, it's just, honestly, I can't stop smiling. It's such a small thing, but it's something I've aimed for so many years. It's really nice to have that sort of sense of completion. Bye for now.